Hello, I'm Zach Meisel alongside Paul Hoynes for cleveland.com. And Hoynesy, let's talk Francisco Lindor, the rookie sensation at shortstop. Came up in June. He's started off slowly, got hot, and he's been hot ever since. And now he's making his case for Rookie of the Year. So first of all, do you think he should win the Rookie of the Year? And secondly, did the Indians wait too long in calling him up?
You know, I think I still like Carlos Correa from Houston as my favorite Rookie of the Year. Also, Billy Burns. Billy Burns, yeah. Billy Burns from Oakland. But Correa probably is my favorite. But I based a lot of that on this kid coming up, them putting him in the middle of the lineup, the Houston I'm talking about, and playing on a first-place team. Now the Astros are fading a little bit, and the Indians are coming on. And basically they've done the same thing with Lindor, put him in the number 2 spot. And they've taken off. He's been a catalyst, like you said. I think he's right in there. I think they're neck and neck right now.
We've asked Lindor multiple times, are you surprised by the production you've had offensively? And he says no. And if you look at his minor league numbers, he's always been a pretty good hitter, a guy you'd want near the top of the order. But he hasn't really shown a whole lot of power. He hasn't really shown an ability to hit for average. And here he is hitting something like .317. He's got 9 home runs. And, I mean, the power, he hit one halfway up the bleachers last night. So what is it about Lindor that you think has allowed him to be this successful? And if you're the Indians, are you satisfied with what you've gotten for 2 months? And are you wishing it would have been the whole season?
Yeah, I think you can look at it a couple different ways. You can look at it from maybe the fans' point of view as saying, where was this guy in April? I mean, we had Jose Ramirez, hitting 180 for the first month and a half at shortstop. And, so why wasn't Lindor here? You can look at it from the Indians' point of view. We knew he needed to develop at AAA. That we told him he wasn't going to make the club out of spring training. He needed to go to Columbus. He played 58 games here. We brought him up at just the right time, and he took off. We didn't want to bring him up, have him fall on his face, and have to send him back down. They didn't want a Brandon Phillips again. So I think you can look at it a couple different ways there. And Lindor, he seems to be, I don't know about you, Zach, but he's a guy that, to me, he likes the lights. He likes the big stage. And, I had a scout tell me that he was just biding his time down in Columbus. He knew he should be in the big leagues. And since he's been here, he's taken off.
I thought it was telling when we talked to Chris Antonetti earlier in the season, and it seemed like it was the right time to call up Lindor, if for no other reason than Jose Ramirez was struggling so profoundly. And Antonetti said he's got a litany of things to work on, but he wouldn't really divulge what those things were. And Lindor, he did struggle a bit. He wasn't hitting well in April or May, and finally got hot, won the league player of the week, and that's about when they called him up. So, look, money certainly plays into this. An extra year of control plays into it. Not starting his arbitration clock plays into it. And the Indians aren't going to come out and say that, and no other team is either, and other teams do this. But I do wonder if maybe it was that litany of things to work on was just a message and saying, look, we need you to perform really well and blow us away to earn your promotion.
Yeah, and I think they were using Correa as kind of a template. And he was at AAA, and he just blew AAA away. Mm-hmm. And he earned that. There was no question that he should just make the next step. With Lindor until June, he was hitting 270 and 260, 270. Is that what you want from your number 1 pick at AAA? So I think and defensively, I think they were more concerned defensively than offensively. He's making some mistakes, he was making some errors, and he's only 21, and you're going to make those. But I think they thought that, hey, if we bring this kid up here, we've got to play him. He's got to play the most difficult defensive spot on the field. We want him to play defense first. We want him to make sure he's solid in that area, and he has been. Zach, he's been everything you could want for and more.
Though he did make some of those same defensive lapses early on when he was up here, and he hit 200 for almost the first month he was up here. So hindsight is a little convenient right now in people who are complaining about, oh, he should have been up since April 1st or whatever, because he did struggle, and he got those lumps out of the way early on, and it's been smooth sailing ever since. Yeah, and the thing you like about him is there's the league, as Francona has said, the league is adjusted to him. He's adjusted right back. So he's not a guy that looks like he had a 10-game hot streak. This is kind of his flow chart has been going up.
since day one he got here.
And now he's under control with the Indians for at least the next 6 years. So we'll see how he blossoms and if he can pull off the Rookie of the Year feat in 2015. For Paul Hoynes, I'm Zach Meisel for cleveland.com.